He's been nominated as the world's best keyboard player no less than 12 times, had more than 40 gold solo records. His autobiography was a bestseller, and he's packed out stadiums all over the world. It seemed like right from the beginning, Rick Wakeman was bound for success. Rick was born to working-class parents in London, England. His father was a deacon in a local Baptist church, so Christianity had a strong influence in Rick's life. In fact, he says that as a child, Sunday was his favorite day of the week. When he began piano lessons at age 6, his teacher immediately recognized his tremendous gift.
And she entered me for these competitions. And she was a wonderful teacher. And I won the first one I went in for. I couldn't believe it. Absolutely fantastic. Then I won the next one, and I just kept on winning these, and I thought it was wonderful.
At age 21, Rick was offered scholarships at 5 music colleges. He chose the most prestigious one, London's Royal College of Music. It was during this time, though, that Rick faced a dilemma.
I'm there feeling, like quite proud with peers like Yehudi Menuhin around me, and heaven knows who else, Malcolm Sargent, all these wonderful conductors and people. And within 3 or 4 months, I realised that I'd never really done anything else but music in my entire life. I'd geared myself to making music my life, and yet I was going to leave the college not knowing what on earth I was going to do. And it was very difficult because I'd started to do a few sessions and work with people like David Bowie and Mark Bolan of T-Rex and some very top producers, Tony Visconti and Gus Dudgeon. And I felt that there was a career in that direction.
Faced with the tough decision of continuing his classical training or grabbing onto an open door into the lucrative rock music business, Rick chose to join the world of rock.
And Yes appeared and asked me to join them, and that was they'd expressed that they wanted to go into the orchestral rock side of things, which is the area that really interested me and where I felt I could offer something.
Yes were so successful that they're considered one of the mega groups of the 70s, and their success still continues today. But fame with Yes and his successful solo career did not translate into riches like you might expect.
I've never ever had a large wad of money in my hands, and I can never ever remember in my life seeing a bank statement in credit. A lot of that's down to bad management, and a lot of it's down to because of the fact that I never listened to any accountants, and I spent it before I had it. Add to that marriages going wrong, mistakes you make, tax bills you don't pay, and suddenly one day you find yourself in that unbelievable position of where you owe everybody, and all the people you thought were your mates and were there to help you, you look round and they've gone.
On top of that, Rick had other problems that were self-inflicted.
I was a very, very heavy drinker. Out partying all the time, heavy drinking. I smoked 40 or 50 cigarettes a day, and everybody just can't take it. And basically I killed over it after a concert in 1975 at Crystal Palace. 74 at Crystal Palace, we were doing Journey to the Centre of the Earth. I came off, felt ill, and actually passed out.
Rick had had a heart attack. He was only 25 years old.
And there's a moment when you know that that you're out of control, that you really do need help. And they came and carted me off to hospital, where I stayed for, I can't remember the exact, about 8 weeks I was there for. And then they said to me that they felt that I should retire, and that I shouldn't work anymore and do anything. It's the only time you sort of sit down and take stock of yourself. But I hasten to add, before you move on, that wasn't the period of time which I suppose a lot of people will be waiting for. Go, all right, this is the bit where he went back to Christianity again. It wasn't like that at all, and it certainly didn't happen like that. Because a lot of people think that there's got to be some sort of routine to find God, as they lovingly call it. I mean,
the last resort.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The last one. Yeah. Go on. Made it all, lost it, found God, successful. Rubbish. It doesn't work like that.
Rick's fast-paced lifestyle was taking its toll. He'd been through 2 failed marriages and seen almost total financial disaster. When he met and married top model Nina Carter, Rick was struggling to make sense of his life.
There's a big difference between what I call the immediate happiness and inside happiness. I mean, you can see people every day who are laughing, but you can be laughing on the outside, but you're certainly not laughing on the inside. And I wasn't laughing on the inside.
Rick knew that God was still reaching out to him, giving him a chance to change his life once and for all. It was a message he could no longer ignore.
I knew that there was a large chunk missing in my life. And I did actually speak to him. I was sitting in a hotel room in Australia, I said, OK, all right, I know you're right. You know, it was a little bit more dramatic than that. And I basically said, look, I know you're right. You've had no sort of puns intended, but the patience of Job to sort of that with me, and you're right. So, come back, please, and help me. Forgive me for all of the things that I've done. And I can't tell you that my human life changed from that moment on, as my problems didn't go away, but I had him there to help me. I had somebody there which I hadn't got before.
But one thing's for sure, from that time on, Rick's life has been one of definite purpose and direction. His relationship with God is a motivating factor in everything he does, including his music. And today, most of his attention is focused on writing and performing music with a Christian message.
I've found it. So, to some extent, it's very selfish, because I'm so thrilled that I've found how I'm meant to use the talent that the Lord gave me. I'm thrilled to... So there is that dreadful selfish bit. Yeah, thank you very much, and it puts a smile on my face.